Ugh. D minus. D plus. C minus. Ugh. F. 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 Oh, good subject line. Interesting copy. Clear and enticing call to action. A plus. 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 Sorry, you just caught me daydreaming that a musician actually sent me a good marketing email. It's depressing that that's kind of like the realm of fantasy. But if good music emails are the stuff of fantasy, the silver lining for that depressing reality is that most music emails have really good stuff in them. There's meat, like things worth sending. And so with just a few quick tweaks, these bad emails can actually be great emails. So today we're going to do some music email makeovers, in hindsight, of course, for a couple emails I actually received last week. Let's get into it. What is up, my friends? Why am I talking like this? I have no idea. My name's Chris Rowley. This is Scratch Track, and Scratch Track is brought to you every week by Demo, the place to be if you are a busy musician with a lot of adult responsibilities in your life, and yet you're making the best music of your life. You want to see it go further, build your audience without having to chase trends, go broke, or burn out. If that sounds like you, go to musicdemo.org, where we're building courses and coaching and consulting and content and guides for people just like you. All right, it's time for music marketing email makeovers. Obviously, these are in hindsight. I can't do anything about them. They're already out the door. They already got sent. They already came to my inbox, courtesy of another friend who forwarded them to me. The first one is a pretty notable artist. So let's take a famous musician's email newsletter and make it much better. It's an email from Anais Mitchell, an artist who I absolutely love. You know, she's famous, she's wildly successful, she's celebrated. She's got a Tony Award-winning Broadway musical to her credit. So I feel like we can pick on her. She probably has thick skin, and two, she's probably never going to see this because she's busy. She has better things to do. But someone, her manager, her publicist, her marketing agency, her label, maybe she herself, sent an email with the subject line, September news. There's no story. There's no emotion. There's no mystery. There's not really anything there except September. So she's famous. She has diehard fans. Many of those diehard fans will be on her list. So of course, some people are going to open her emails no matter what. I would open her emails no matter what. But when you get to that level of notoriety, you will also inevitably have people on your list who are more casual fans. Probably lots of them, and they are not going to open no matter what. So while maybe the pressure is not as pronounced for her to, optimize and get every single person opening because of her other forms of success and attention, why not try to improve it? Okay, when you think, oh, that's a blah subject line, how can we improve it? Well, the first place, obviously, to look is within the email itself. So when we open this email, the first thing at the top is a story about how her supergroup, Bonnie Light Horseman, is going to end its tour, its final tour for the moment, and they're going on an indefinite hiatus. They're all going back to their life, back to solo projects, back to things that may distract them from this band for quite a long time, or possibly forever. I don't think she's trying to convey that level of finality, but when artists that are this talented that work together part ways, sometimes other things take over, and this might be the last time anyone has a chance to see this band. And that would be a bummer, and that's worth playing up in the email subject line. So one possible approach could be to plant curiosity. She could have made the subject line, I hate that this is ending. Time for goodbyes. Over so soon? Or I don't know what's next. Now, if any of those things strike you as sort of clickbaity, I'd like you to remember that there's a difference between clickbait and incompleteness. What those subject lines are incomplete. They don't tell the whole story, and they all may be emotionally true. When, if she were to say, I hate that this is ending, you're wondering, what's ending? I don't know. I got to know. For her, she might actually be sort of sad that this part of her life is going away for a while. So as long as your subject lines feel in some way emotionally true, they're not clickbait. They're just bait. It's compelling. It is enticing. So let's say that emotional angle she's not comfortable with. She wants to try something else. Well, there's always urgency. These shows are selling out, right? So the subject line could have been, your last chance to see us for ever? I mean, again, a little clickbaity maybe, but also possibly true, because we know when musicians go their separate ways, it takes a lot to sometimes bring them back together. Maybe this is accidentally forever. Hopefully not. I love that band. Another idea could be, help us say goodbye. Instead of buying a ticket, it's about inviting fans in to be part of like a farewell performance. Or just the very straightforward, the last leg of our tour is selling out fast. So already we have at least 7 options that I think are better than September news. But we're not even done yet because there's a whole second story in this email. Let me put aside for a second the fact that I think both of these stories should have been sent as completely separate emails. That's what our next makeover is all about. For now, let's just look at this second story as more fertile ground for generating subject line ideas. It is about the 2000th performance of Hadestown on Broadway. As I said, this is a musical that she wrote. It's incredible. It's award-winning. So 2000 performances is amazing. Plus, the cast is changing. So the old cast is leaving. A new cast is coming in. There's a lot to talk about here. So some subject lines might have been, I never thought it'd get this far. That is true from a certain angle because she started this as a project that was, her own album. It ran in like small theater productions, kind of more local to where she lived. And then it sort of slowly took on this huge life where it ended up on Broadway and became the sensation it is now. So it's probably true. She never thought it'd get this far. So if she wrote that subject line, she'd know exactly what she's talking about. We, the reader, don't necessarily know. To us, what is she talking about? What did she think would never get this far? I need to click. Now we're in and she can talk about the huge achievement. If you've seen Hadestown, you might even feel part of this achievement because you've been at one of those 2000 performances. Maybe you've gone multiple times like some of my friends have. They have made it kind of a part of their life and can kind of feel some ownership in that success. Next option for a subject line could have been the cast of Hadestown is leaving. It's true, right? They are leaving. New people are coming in. But to us, it might be like, oh, was there drama? Like, was someone voted off the island? What's going on? Now, if that option feels too sensationalized, you might talk about the new cast coming in. Something like, be the first to meet the new gods of the underworld. So if you're a fan of hers and you get that email, now you know exactly what it's about. It's about the musical and a new cast coming in, but you're still invited to meet them. Who's it going to be? Are there some famous people or are there some new faces? Like, who is it? Now, the risk with generating specific ideas for an artist is that none of those might feel right to her. The point of this is to say that I opened up that email and within 30 seconds had at least 12 ideas for alternatives that I think are better than September news. When you're a famous artist, when you have notoriety, when you have a diehard audience, there is some mystique, some mystery, some urgency to simply hearing from that artist. So something like September news might work for her. But indie artists cannot get away with phoning it in like that. And I still think if she's getting decent open rates and decent click-through rates and decent sales from an email with a bland subject line, imagine how much better she'd do from an email with a really captivating subject line. All right, the last music email makeover for this episode is actually one from a friend of mine who sent an email. It was something like August newsletter, I think was a subject. If you feel like you're going to be embarrassed because I'm calling you out, don't worry, there is safety in numbers. You are anonymous because I think I had 20 different music friends send me emails with subject lines like that. So if you are an artist out there who sent a subject line like that, well, you could do better. But I'm not talking about subject lines this time because that's what we covered in the last example. This case study is all about how I think every single individual bit of exciting news needs to be its own individual email. And I will illustrate why with this example. When I opened up this email, there were 4 or 5 different long stories. They're all cool stories. They're all exciting things. This musician is brilliant, doing a lot of really, really, really interesting things that I want to know about. I want to know every single piece of this thing. But when I open it, it is a wall of text. And all of that is competing not only for space and not only for my attention. When you compete for my attention, you're actually competing for my action because I'm only going to do one thing if I do anything at all. I think it's safe to say that's true for everyone out there because here's a just sort of fact of life. When you're walking down a road or a path and you diverge, you take a different road or a different path, it takes a lot of energy to get back onto that main road. You are off into detours and distractions. And here's how that played out for me. With this artist's email, the first story was about a video, a new music video that got made. The story was interesting. I wanted to see it. I clicked over to YouTube. I watch it. It's a cool video. I love it. I want to like it. I want to comment. But what happens? I'm on YouTube. And so my eyes drift to the sidebar. And there on the sidebar is my own video. One of these Scratch Track podcasts is off to the side. And now I'm thinking, oh, how many people liked that video? What could I do better next time for the next podcast? Speaking of demo, I've got like 25 things I have to do today. Crap, what am I doing watching this friend's music video? Oh, look, further down the sidebar, right below my video is don't swim in Maine water or something like that. And I'm like, oh, what's that about? Is flesh-eating bacteria back in the oceans of Maine? Oh, great. Is it sharks? Oh, speaking of sharks, this is all true story, by the way. I'm supposed to order tickets tonight because I have to take my daughter and her friend to see the 50th anniversary showing of Jaws that's at the local theater tonight. I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. I got to go to the movie theater site and buy tickets. And now where am I? I'm on the flagship movie theater website purchasing tickets. And it's getting close to lunch and crap, I gotta go. And now I'm in a completely different place in a different mode. And I was like, what was I doing like 20 minutes ago? Oh, right, my friend's email. That was like 18 years ago. I've moved on. Can't go back. It's too late. Lost to time. And all the while, he had 3, 4, 5 more exciting things to tell me. More exciting videos to watch, more shows to see, whatever it was, there was news that was worth sharing, but I'm not going to see it now because I'm not going back. Now think of that in your own life. You might check your email like 10 minutes before lunch. You do one thing and now you're like, I'm hungry. Got to put this away. Or maybe it's before you're done with your workday or something and you check this last thing in the day, you do one thing, you watch one video and you're like, I got to stop at the grocery store on the way home. This is just real life putting up lots of detours, lots of distractions. And that is the reason why, unfortunately, I think we have to keep our messaging bite-sized or at least focused. Only ask me to do one thing at a time. So send one email about the video I watched. Wait 3 days, send another email about the next video I should watch. Wait another 4 days, send another thing about the cool story. All of these things deserve their own spotlight, not just to put the attention on it, but to allow me to do the one thing and not miss all the other cool things happening in your music. Because chances are if you wait until September news or October news or November news or December news, you're not going to return to those items necessarily. You're going to be thinking about the future, and meanwhile, your fans will miss out on a lot of what's currently happening. One last specific note about this email, although the subject line was kind of a bland summary, the headline when you get into the email was the opposite. It was hyper specific, but the problem was all 4 or 5 headlines were smashed together into one big headline. This kind of had the effect for me of like feeling like I was in a grocery store walking past the newspaper, and instead of one big headline, it's like, hey, World War III started. Cancer was cured. Small dogs are back in fashion. Red Sox win. And you're like, whoa, those are 4 different newspapers. Instead of this newsletter roundup summary kind of thing, that could have been 4 or 5 separate weekly emails throughout August. As long as you're in the rhythm and it's a habit, they're easier to write. Focusing on one story at a time also means that you will have a clear idea of how to bring out the like emotional thrill or the suspense around any single piece of content. So let's make a promise. No more bland subject lines. No more long newsletter roundups. I think if you concentrate on those 2 things, you'll see that actually focusing on one thing at a time will give you the ability to find the most compelling hook, the best bait, the best caption, the best subject line to make people care about the thing. And when they do, they're actually going to consume it one at a time, dive deeper in, and love it all the more because they're not going to be worried about buying tickets to Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. All right, that's the topic for today. If you have feedback on really anything about the show, I'd love to hear it. The best way to let me know is a comment on YouTube or a comment on Spotify. If you're listening in Apple, you can leave a review. And actually, that's a great thing to do for me. Anyways, it takes you about a minute, has a huge impact on helping this show grow and become more successful and reach the right people out there who will be musicians like you. And stick around for next week where I will finally get to that long list of email ideas to send to your fans between bigger news announcements. I'll see you then.